What if lightning struck the same place forever? Let's imagine a world where lightning doesn't behave the way it usually does. Normally, lightning is chaotic. It jumps around, striking trees, rooftops, unlucky golfers, and sometimes even sand dunes, leaving behind strange glassy sculptures. But in our scenario, lightning picks one spot on Earth, and from that moment on, it strikes only that single place, over and over, forever. At first, this might sound almost convenient. If you always knew where lightning was going to hit, it would make the rest of the world safer. No more forest fires, no more lightning hitting airplanes or knocking out power lines. You just have to put up a big warning sign around the lightning zone and tell people to stay away. Easy, right? Well, not exactly. Let's talk about energy. A single bolt of lightning carries, on average, about 1 billion joules of energy. That's roughly the same as detonating 200 kilograms of TNT. And globally, lightning strikes Earth about 100 times every second. If all of that lightning were concentrated in one location, it would be like detonating 20 tons of TNT every single second. Not exactly a safe picnic spot. The first thing that would happen is the ground itself would start to change. Soil and rock are not designed to handle repeated billion-joule explosions. Each strike would blast apart dirt, melt sand into glass, and gradually dig a deeper and deeper hole. Within days, that spot would resemble a crater, constantly glowing with molten rock. Within weeks, it would start to look less like a lightning strike zone and more like an artificial volcano, except instead of spewing lava from below, it's being bombarded with firepower from the sky. Now, let's imagine what happens if people try to contain it. Engineers might build a giant lightning rod to capture the strikes, channeling the electricity into something useful. After all, if you have a constant stream of lightning energy, maybe you can turn it into the world's greatest renewable power plant. Unfortunately, nature doesn't make it that simple. Lightning is incredibly unpredictable in shape and intensity, and forcing billions of joules safely into wires would make even the most advanced electrical grid burst into flames. In fact, the Lightning Forever site would probably just become the world's most expensive bonfire. But let's say we succeed. We somehow manage to capture the energy without everything exploding. Could we power our civilization with it? The answer is yes and no. Remember, lightning already strikes the Earth thousands of times per day, releasing a truly staggering amount of energy. If we could harness all of it, we'd solve the world's energy crisis overnight. But the problem is that lightning, while energetic, is chaotic and short-lived. It's like trying to charge your phone by plugging it directly into a bomb. Technically, there's energy there, but it's not exactly practical. And what about the weather? If the atmosphere knows that lightning can only strike in one location, storms all over the world would still try to discharge their energy. But instead of spreading out, they would redirect toward that single point. In other words, every thunderstorm on Earth would point its electrical finger at the same unlucky spot. That means not only a lightning strike every second, but a constant global funnel of storms channeling energy into one glowing crater. The surrounding climate would change dramatically. All that heat dumped into the ground would vaporize water instantly, creating enormous columns of steam. The local weather would become so violent that no living creature could survive within hundreds of kilometers. In fact, you could probably see the storm from space, a permanent thunderous scar on the surface of Earth, glowing day and night. Over the years, the geological impact would be enormous. The crust beneath the impact zone would weaken and possibly collapse. Magma could rise closer to the surface, creating new volcanic activity. In other words, by forcing lightning to strike the same spot forever, we might accidentally create a brand new volcano, powered not by Earth's core, but by the sky itself. So, what would humanity do about it? Well, probably the same thing we do with most natural disasters. Move away from it and build a tourist attraction. After all, people already pay money to see lava flows in Hawaii or the Northern Lights in Iceland. Imagine a colossal storm where lightning hits the same crater thousands of times per day. It would become the world's most terrifying, yet strangely beautiful, natural wonder. Tourists would come in buses, stand behind thick glass domes, and take selfies with the eternal lightning volcano. But here's the final twist. Lightning is part of the delicate balance of Earth's electrical system. It helps equalize the charge between the atmosphere and the ground. If all of that energy went into one spot instead of being